Hello students, we are proceeding on the next chapter, the laburnum top. Here I am Rajesh Kumar Singh from Divine Public School, Munapur, Gorakhpur. Before starting off the chapter laburnum top, let's know something about the poet. The laburnum top is written by Ted Hughes. Ted Hughes, his full name Edward James Hughes, was an English poet, translator, and children's writer. He is considered one of the best poets of his generation and one of the 20th century's greatest writers. He served as Poet Laureate of England from 1984 to till his death, 21st October 1998. Hughes was married to American poet Sylvia Plath, and she remained her wife from 1956 to till her death 1963 at the age of 30. As Sylvia Plath did suicide due to some matters, and therefore I told you that she remained his wife from 1956 to till her death 1963 at the age of 30. Hughes loved hunting and fishing, swimming and picnicking with his family. In poetry in making, he recalled that he was fascinated by animals, collecting and drawing toy lead creatures. He acted as retriever when his elder brother, gamekeeper, shot magpies, owls, rats. Growing up surrounded by the harsh realities of working farm in the valleys and on the moors. Retrievers means going and bring up something. For retriever dogs, suppose that when someone hunts a fowl, the dogs goes search for the fowl or bird and bring it to its owner. That is known as retriever dogs. Okay, so retriever means going to go and bring. This called retrieve. Here, during his time in Maxborough, he explored manure farm at Old Denby, which he said he would come to know better than any place on earth. His earliest poem, The Thought Fox, and the earliest story, The Rain Horse, were recollections of the area. Students, before starting the poem, let's know something about it. As the poem Laburnum Top is written by Ted Hughes, it is about a mutual relationship between the laburnum tree and the goldfinch bird. In her absence, the tree looks yellow, silent, and death-like, and becomes alive by the bird and her young ones. The yellow goldfinch bird has her shelter on the tree where she feeds her young ones. But as soon as the bird leaves the tree and flies in the sky, the tree becomes silent and death-like as it was earlier. Students, let's start the poem. Stanza first. The laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon, yellow September sunlight. A few leaves allowing all its seeds fallen. Now, laburnum. See the word laburnum means a short tree with hanging branches, yellow flowers, and poisonous seeds is called laburnum. It is a kind of tree. Poisonous, its seeds are poisonous, and flowers are of yellow color. Top, that is the summit of the tree. Okay, and quiet means completely. Still means peaceful. Afternoon, yellow September sunlight. September sunlight. Important points. Here is the repetition of words, consonant words. Yes, yes in both words. Therefore, you can find a figure of speech alliteration here. Let's see its explanation. The poet describes a laburnum tree in the month of September. In this month, tree looks yellow and lifeless and has fallen all its seeds. It looks yellow due to its yellow leaves in the afternoon sun. Yellow light in the afternoon, yellow light of the sun in the month of September. The poet sees the top of a laburnum tree which looks yellow, silent and still, that is without motion, like death in the afternoon. It shows no liveliness, no life supporting life, no life supporting, life producing green leaves on it. The tree shows no liveliness, no life supporting, life producing green leaves on it. It has fallen all its seeds. Students, proceed on the next paragraph, next stanza. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, startlement at a branch end, then sleek as lizard and alert and abrupt. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up of chittering and a tremor of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. Now see some words as goldfinch. A bird, a kind of bird, a kind of shirt, is a kind of bird, small singing bird with yellow feathers. Twitching means sudden jerk movement. A sudden jerk movement, twitching. Chirrup means a repeated high pitched sound of a bird is chirrup. Startlement means surprised. Abrupt means rapid. Chittering, sound of chattering of bird. Chittering means sound of chattering. Tremor of wings means fluttering of wings. Fluttering of wings. Trillings produce chirping sounds. Thrills, feeling of happiness and excitement is thrills. Now see its explanation. The poet finds the tree in its death-like, inactive aloneness and silence in the September afternoon till the bird comes on it. As soon as the bird goldfinch arrives, the tree gets a sudden movement with a jerk and becomes an embodiment of liveliness due to the high pitched sound of excited bird. There is a sudden excitement of a happy amazement when the goldfinch perches at the end of a branch. Then the bird moves carefully and alert rapidly like a lizard moves rapidly towards the thickness of the tree. Here the bird keeps its nest where her young ones lives. Here the bird keeps its nest where in the thickness of the tree and her young ones lives here. The young one of the birds are like a machine which becomes start at the arrival of its operator with the sound of chittering, fluttering of wings and happy chirpings of birds. The whole tree becomes an embodiment of liveliness. It feels an excitement caused by happiness and moves its leaves and twigs due to happy thrills. Next, students proceed on the next stanza. It is the engine of her family. She stokes a pole, then plugs out to a branch end, showing her bird face identity mask. Here, the word stokes means to feed coal to an engine. To feed or add fuel to an engine is called stokes. Okay, as engines in bikes are also they have different stokes, 2 stokes, 3 stokes, 4 stokes, and as much as the fuel is added the power of the engine is increased. Now here stokes means the food of the engine. Floods out means lead onto. Bird means strippy, full with lining. Mask means cover. Let's see its explanation. The tree as well as the young one of the bird are like the engine, which remains still like that without its operator who operates it by giving it full stokes. As soon as the engine operator add fuel or coal to the engine starts with chittering sounds. As soon as the bird arrives, the engine of her family starts with tremor of wings and chirping of birds. After feeding her young one, she, that is the goldfinch, leads them onto the end of the branch. Here she displays her stripy feathers, which is her identity of her particular look to the world. And the last paragraph, last line of this poem, that is stanza 4. Then with Eric delicate whistle chirrup whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Here some new words. Whistle chirrup, that is gentle whisper. Gentle yet high pitched sound of a bird, you can say whistle chirrup. Launches away means fly away. Subsides means to reduce down. For example, if a feeling or noise subsides, it gradually decreases. It gradually decreases. This is subside. Airy, airy means ghostly होता है. The literal meaning of airy is ghostly, means strange and frightening. This is airy. Now see the explanation of this paragraph. The tree and the young ones of the birds are like an engine, are like machine which remains inactive till the arrival of its manipulator. The tree becomes happy and alive at the arrival of the birds. It shakes its leaves and twigs in the welcome mood for the bird. The bird, after feeding its young ones, making the tree happy and agile for a while, she comes onto the end of a branch from her shelter into the thick, flies away into the infinite sky to work hard for the provision of her young ones. When she launches into the sky, she produces a delicate, yet strange and frightening sound in repeated whisper. The top of the laburnum tree becomes silence and still like death again when the bird disappears in the infinite sky. Students, see some literary device used in this poem as metaphor. Metaphor is a literary device. In this figure of speech, an indirect comparison takes place between two objects. Generally, equality is compared there. For example, Ranasanga was the line of Mewar. Ranasanga was the name of a king and he was very brave. Lion is the king of forest and is also brave. The quality of both persons are equal. Therefore, it is metaphor. Next example, in this piece of poetry, it is the engine of her family. It is the engine of her family. Means the tree and the birds, young one of the birds, are compared with the engine. Compared with the engine. Here is an indirect comparison, and thus here is metaphor. Next lines, she enters the thickness and machine starts up. In this line, here is an indirect comparison. The noise of birds is compared with the noise of machine. Therefore, literary device is metaphor. Alliteration. In alliteration, there is the repetition of a consonant sounds, particularly the beginning two. Repetition of consonant sound. For example, repetition of consonant sound is called alliteration. For example, September sunlight. Here yes and yes. Tree trembles. T T. TR TR. Okay. September SE and SU. In this way, these such type of expression is called alliteration. Simile. Next, use of simile. In the figure of speech simile, comparison takes place between two things using like, as, or so. Comparison between two things takes place using like, as, or so. Such type of comparison is called simile. Here in this piece of poetry, laburnum top, sleek as lizard, sleek like lizard. Here is comparison, okay, between the rapidity of a lizard and the bird. Okay, therefore figure of speech is simile. Personification, the attribution of personal nature personal nature characteristics to something non-human is called personification. The attribution of a personal nature is nature characteristics to the something non-human, then it is called personification. For example, the whole tree trembles and thrills. Here, the tree is compared as human beings. Therefore, the figure of speech is personification. Next figure of speech is transferred epithet. The figure of speech where the adverb is transferred to another noun is called transferred epithet. Her bird-faced identity mask. Her bird-faced identity mask. Here, the bird is transferred to the mask. Such type of epithet is known as transferred